Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Forsyth County and new Educator Orientation. I'm Kristen Morrissey, and I'm humbled to serve as the chairperson of the Board of Education for Forsyth County Schools, a district where I have one graduate and one current student at Lambert High School. Throughout our event today, please feel free to share photos and comments on social media using hashtag FCSinduction. Thank you for being here today. Please allow me a moment to introduce and highlight the four other members of our Board of Education. Vice Chairperson Nancy Roche, stand up. Tom Cleveland, Darla Light, and Wes McCall. Nancy is completing her 19th year on the board, with next year being her last as she's opted to return to civilian life after completing her 5th term on the board. Nancy's a former IBM engineer, and we've always been able to count on her expertise to keep us on task. Tom Cleveland has been on the board since 2005, and Tom is our grounding force and our high-level thinker. His background in IT and human resource helps bring a calming effect to our team. Drug awareness and prevention are also close to Tom's heart, and he represents us very well on the Drug Council. Darla Light, a Forsyth native and graduate, started a couple years before me in 2009. Darla is a current and past small business owner who brings her true love of children, especially her grandchildren, her competitive edge, and her knowledge of sports to the board, as well as being one of the best storytellers I've ever known. And finally, Wes McCall. He's our newest board member, and he is halfway through his first year. Like Wes, myself, he still has a child in the system, so he brings that important perspective to the board. While new to the board, Wes has been active in schools over the years through mentoring, volunteering, serving on PTA and local school councils. Wes also brings his true desire to help communicate to and listen to the residents he represents. Nancy, would you please come to the stage?
Please stand for a moment of silence as the North Forsyth High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC presents the colors of the United States of America.
Left, face, carry, color, ready, cut, are you done? Color. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Color guard. Order. Color. Ready, cut. Right. Face. Forward. Arc. Left. Left. Right. Left. Right.
I want to thank representatives with us today from PAGE, GAE, and Educators First for attending. And I also would like to recognize our signature sponsors. Those sponsors that are here today, please come up as I introduce you. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Forsyth. Children's is located at the collection at exit 13 off of Georgia 400. Children's are longtime partners of Forsyth County Schools and support the district's Principal for a Day program. Evan Profeta, State Farm Insurance. Evan's State Farm office is located off of Old Atlanta Road near South Forsyth Middle School. Evan, who also serves as the Vice Chair of our Education Foundation, along with his team, are proud to serve the insurance needs of Forsyth County educators. Georgia United Credit Union. The credit union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative that has proudly served SCF staff for over 20 years. Located on Highway 20, they offer a variety of competitive and free financial services to employees. John Heath and Your Results, Keller William Ritzy. John and his team have worked with SCF for over a decade. They donate $1,000 to any Forsyth school approved program for each closing referred to them by a teacher, parent, or staff member. And It's Learning. As you know now, after 5 hours of training, It's Learning is our learning management system that is used daily in our district. Sponsors, would you like to say a few words?
Good morning. On behalf of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, welcome to making one of the best decisions you've ever made in your life. This is an incredible family. You are welcomed not only by incredible educators in this school system, but also by a community of eager business leaders and parents who are so excited that we are going to have you educating our children. So thank you for what you're about to do and the journey that you're about to take. At Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, we have 3 main hospitals and over 27 neighborhood locations. We're very fortunate to serve you locally with our urgent care at the collection located at exit 13. And our goal is to get the kids healthy and back in your classroom as soon as possible. So if there's anything we can ever do for you, please don't hesitate to let us know. Have a wonderful school year.
Good morning. My name is Ken Shanowski. I'm with Georgia United Credit Union. First of all, Shanowski, it's a Southern name. Actually, it has been for about 30 years now. But welcome. You all have made an excellent choice. We have partnered with Forsyth County Schools, the foundation, the school system. We're a sponsor of the Teacher of the Year for over 20 years now. We are a not-for-profit financial institution, and it's kind of one of the reasons I have a job is because I educate people. You see, I'm actually a retired teacher, so I was one of you. And now what I do is I educate people about financial education and financial literacy as part of the credit union. We have 400 partner companies, state of Georgia employees, all the Board of Regents universities, K through 12 school systems. So 61 years ago, a group of 7 educators each put $5 in a cigar box and formed what became Georgia United Credit Union. Our mission is to always help educators. That's what we're here for. That's what we thrive on. That's why I'm here, because we're not here for Wall Street or shareholders. We're here for you. Lower interest rates on mortgages and car loans, higher interest rates on deposit accounts. We'll help you keep your money because it's very important. So we've recently been named as the top credit union in the state of Georgia by Forbes. So we feel as though we offer a unique alternative to the traditional banking needs that you find on every street corner. So please come see Tony, Beth, and myself at the table. We have free teacher work bags, some of you already gotten. We also have a $75 Visa gift card drawing, which we'll be doing because not everybody had a chance to stand. And I actually have been doing this long enough now where people come to me and say, hey, I hear you have these 3 tips to start your school year. Please share them with me. And so these are, I can't tell you how to do the day-to-day 180 days because we all know there's 180 days in a school year. But if you follow these 3 tips, you'll have a successful start to your school year. So first of all, you have to train your sleep patterns. No more naps in the afternoon. Okay, I'm sorry, they have to go away. And start bringing the alarm clock closer and closer to the time you have to actually get up. Secondly, you have to look at your schedule and figure out when your lunchtime is. You have to start training your body. Because some of you may be eating at 10:30 in the morning and some of you may be eating at 1 in the afternoon. And also you need to have a very healthy snack drawer, okay? And finally, and most importantly, you have to start training your bathroom habits. Because you can't go to the bathroom anytime you want any long, like just during the summer, right? So if you follow those 3 things, I think you'll have a successful school year. Thank you for all you do. We value you, we cherish you, we understand you, and we wish you nothing but good luck this year. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Forsyth County. You guys are truly blessed to be starting jobs in one of the finest school systems in the country. I think everybody we meet, all the administrators and staff, everybody are just wonderful. And y'all make my job as a realtor very easy because people want to move to Forsyth County because of our school system. That is the #1 reason that we've been one of the fastest growing counties in the country for 20 years now. I'm John Heath. I'm here with the Educator Home Solutions team. And my lending partner, Copia Home Loans, Sonia Bullard's with me today. We provide one-stop shopping for you guys. She has special programs for you, our heroes, with special rates, no money down. Don't think you got to save up $30,000 to buy your first home. She's got programs where we can get you with no money down. She's going to do a very important task while I tell you about our program. She's going to give away $100 for all you people that walk by and we're like, we're not giving you our name. Laura Walsworth just won $100. Laura Walsworth. Raise your hand, Laura, so I'm just going to come find you. There she is, way back on the left.
Oh, I see.
So we all know that nobody remembers much of what they hear in verbal speaking, right? That's why y'all come up with all these creative ways to teach students things, because if we just get up and teach like they did when I was young, back in the buggy age, you know, then you don't remember anything. So I only want you guys to remember one thing today. Best realtor team, free money. Free money, okay? If you buy a home with us, we'll give you $500 and $500 to your school. If you refer somebody to us, don't care who it is, we'll give $1,000 to you and your school, and they will let you use it in your classroom. Michelle Cassette, who's now principal at Shiloh, when she was a teacher at Vickery Middle, used it to create a living terrarium in her classroom. And she's now used us 3 times. So I think we got a pretty good track record with those in the school system that have used us. We really appreciate everything you guys do for us. We hope you have a great school year. Please keep us in mind. Please come by if you didn't register. We're going to give another $100 away at the end of the day today. I'll have Hannah Samples come find you guys and give the last winner there. So y'all got one more chance to win. Thank y'all.
Thank you, sponsors. I'm excited to share a little history with you about Forsyth, how we got here today, both as a county and as a school district. This area was first inhabited by the Mississippi Indian civilization, and then followed for centuries by the Creek and Cherokee nations. Forsyth County was created in 1832 from Cherokee County and was conveniently situated between Hall County and Dahlonega gold belts. The county soil was not suited for growing crops, so there was very little growth or change during the Civil War. After the Depression and World War II, our new crop was introduced to Forsyth County, chicken farming. Chicken farming greatly impacted the standard of living for our rural area, which included a large number of children becoming the first generation college graduates. In the 1950s, Buford Dam was built on the Chattahoochee River, forming Lake Lanier, which has now become a major water source for the metropolitan Atlanta area. Every year, more than 7.5 million people visit Lake Lanier, making it one of the most visited and used Army Corps of Engineer lakes. in the country. In the 1970s, Georgia 400 was opened to provide a quicker transportation route to and from Atlanta. As many of you are aware, Georgia 400 was recently completed a much-needed expansion to relieve traffic congestion in our county. From 1970 to 2000, our population increased 481%, and then Forsyth experienced another 78% growth spurt from 2000 to 2010. Because of this, we are consistently ranked as one of the fastest growing counties in the United States and expect this trend to continue. Our school district's history started in 1873 when field schools, log buildings built in cleared Native American fields, were consolidated into one public district. In 1874, Forsyth County had 1,456 students in 32 schools. To put this into perspective, the entire district back then would now fit into Riverwatch Middle School. Ready for this? In 1873, teachers were paid $29.97 a month. They also had to start the fire to heat the school. Probably a good time to mention this year we were able to give our teachers a $3,000 raise. Yeah. And not only do our schools have heating and air, we are adding air conditioning to our buses too. Since that time, the consolidation of community schools occurred as the county changed from strictly agrarian to more diversified. Big Creek Elementary is our oldest of 21 elementary schools built in 1938. Shown on this slide is the former Forsyth County High School. Once we added more high schools, the school's name changed to Forsyth Central. Ever wonder why we name a school Matt? Who is this Matt, and how did he get his own school? Our community and school histories are very important to our district. We honor our past by naming many of our new schools after state and local leaders, former field schools, and communities, such as the former Matt community shown on this slide. Today, Forsyth County is home to over 236 residents across 247 square miles. Why are so many people choosing to move forward with Forsyth County? Obviously, the number one reason is the schools. Additionally, our community values a high quality of life, focusing on live, work, and play. The work, our strong economy, highly educated residents, and a talented workforce have allowed us to become home to more than 6,000 businesses, including 60 international companies. We also have 25 parks in our county. Sawney Mountain Preserve and Pools Mill Covered Bridge are in this slide. The Big Creek Greenway is one of our most popular outdoor venues, shown in the slide with Lake Lanier, which borders 207 miles of our county. Many events and activities are held annually throughout our community, including the Cumming County Fair, the 4th of July Steam Engine Parade, and Fridays at the fairgrounds. All these offerings make Forsyth County one of the best areas in the country to call home. Now that you know how we got here, and have some information about our community, I am pleased to invite Superintendent Bearden so you can learn who we are and where we are going. Dr. Bearden came to us from Fayette County Schools and is about to start his 6th year with us. Dr. Bearden is a U.S. Air Force veteran who has served us well. In fact, you could say he's a jack of all trades. His 25 years of experience range from being a teacher to a coach, athletic director, assistant principal, and now, of course, superintendent, not just in our system, but also in others. Jeff believes strongly on the importance of relationship building and staying in touch with all levels of the school system. Don't be surprised one day if he walks into your classroom and just says hi. He regularly tours all of our schools to talk to the teachers, the students, and the staff, because he knows that's what it's all about. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Forsyth County Schools family, and congratulations on your appointment. Our school system and community continues to be one of the most desirable places to live and work in our state and in our nation. In fact, for the past 3 years, our school district has been named by our community as the best place to work in Forsyth County. You should all be very proud of being selected. The competition for jobs here is very fierce. Before I begin the district overview, I want to share a little information about you, our more than 360 new educators. We have 33 of you who are former Forsyth County substitutes, our paraprofessionals who have now been appointed to teachers, and 18 of you are returning to Forsyth County. You were formerly teachers here. If you're a member of one of these groups, either a former sub, paraprofessional, or a teacher who left us and now came back, will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. We have a number of new educators that are joining us from 18 states from outside of Georgia, most of you coming from Florida, some from Texas and North Carolina, and we actually have one here today from California. If you are from out of state, would you please stand and be recognized? 102 of you are recent college graduates, with most of you coming from the University of North Georgia. If you are a recent college graduate, would you please stand and be recognized? They do look a little bit younger, don't they? Last, we have 192 Georgia teachers who are joining the Forsyth County Schools family from other school districts and many private schools. 55 coming from private and charter schools, 51 of you coming from Gwinnett County, 24 from Fulton County. Please stand if you are joining us from another district. And I know for a fact some of our new teachers are former Forsyth County School students. If you graduated from a Forsyth County school, please stand and be recognized. We are very intentional about trying to grow our own. Congratulations on your appointment. And I'd also like to thank any of our induction leaders from our schools that are here with us today. If you're an induction leader, would you please stand and be recognized? So who is Forsyth County Schools today? Well, how long do we have? Don't worry, we have a video, so let's show that. I want to thank our public information staff for putting that video together. Forsyth County Schools is proud to be one of the top districts in Georgia and the United States. The success has been accomplished through dedication to our mission and a commitment to continuous improvement through the cooperative efforts of all stakeholders. Our vision is quality learning and superior performance for all. And this is exemplified not only in the achievements highlighted in the video, but also in the classroom daily and in well-rounded students who graduate from our schools each May. Each student has the opportunity to engage in a quality education that will take them beyond the classroom walls and into a successful life. Our success did not happen overnight. It started with the hard work and commitment of a few around solid beliefs, which led to many more joining our district to further our mission. This morning, we ask that you allow these to become shared beliefs because we take the beliefs on this screen seriously. These shared beliefs are the heart of what makes Forsyth County Schools work so well. I referred to our school district as the Forsyth County Schools family earlier, and I want you to know that we really do consider our staff, our students, and their families members of our family. Forsyth County Schools is extremely progressive, yet we maintain a welcome and caring culture. Our primary customer is the individual student. As you can see, the student is the center of everything that we do. The district works collaboratively with other customers, such as staff, parents, citizens, and businesses to support students. In Forsyth County Schools, with every decision we make, from school board member to teacher to bus driver, we always ask, is it in the best interest of our students? As Kristen said earlier, I began my tenure as superintendent here 5 years ago. Over the last 5 years, I visited hundreds of classrooms. What have I observed? First, a culture and climate that is conducive to learning, student-centered classrooms, and not a lot of what I call sit and get. Technology being used to differentiate instruction, to make learning more relevant and engaging, and to increase student achievement. I see students applying what they have learned. I see a team of professionals who truly care about their kids. More and more, I see teachers personalize the learning experience for our students. You will learn lots about personalized learning throughout this school year. You need to become very, very familiar with personalized learning practices. That is the direction our system is headed. Our schools are not all alike, but they are all excellent. When I speak with parents looking to possibly move into our community, I recommend to them to find where they want to live and not worry about where their child will attend school. All Forsyth County children have the opportunity to receive a quality education regardless of where they go to school. While our schools are not cookie cutter, we are a school system, a team, a family. We are not a system of individual schools. For example, you will quickly become familiar with our learner profile and with its learning. Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, states that any successful person or organization begins with the end in mind. The learner profile is the end in mind for all of our students. As a new teacher to our system, you must align all of our work to the learner profile. It doesn't matter if you're teaching kindergarten students or seniors in high school. The learner profile is the work of Forsyth County Schools. All of our system-wide decisions around teaching and learning are designed through the lens of the learner profile. It is prominently displayed throughout our system and must be displayed in every classroom. But don't just hang it on the wall. Align your work and discuss with your students at their level and in language they will understand what the learner profile means for them. In fact, you'll hear from some of our students what the learner profile means to them later in this program. Its learning, as was mentioned earlier, is our learning management system. This system allows us to communicate clearly, consistently, and effectively with students and parents about assignments and expectations. You are also required to use its learning in a consistent manner. I urge you to become familiar quickly. So to recap, number 1, our learner profile is the work of the system. These are the skills we expect all students to possess by the time they graduate from one of our high schools. Our learner profile is the what. Number 2, personalized learning is the how. of our system. Personalized learning will look a little different from school to school and from classroom to classroom, and that's okay. Number 3, it's learning is the where. It's where we communicate expectations and assignments to our students and parents. It's where we place resources for our students, encourage them to interact effectively online. You must commit to those 3 things: the learner profile, personalized learning, and it's learning. As I said earlier, I have visited hundreds of classrooms, and I will visit as often as possible this year as well. I'm sure I will visit many of you. Other than our learner profile, personalized learning, and it's learning, you may wonder what else I look for when I visit your school or your classroom. The guiding question for me is quite simple. Would I want my own child to attend this school or be a student in this classroom? If the answer is yes, that's great. If the answer is no, or I'm not sure, the next question I'm going to have for your principal is, what are we doing about it? Because if it's not good enough for my child or your child, it's not good enough for any child. So what do I want for the more than 50,000 children that will attend our schools? The same thing I'd want for my own child, and I assume the same thing you would want for your children if you're parents. First and foremost, I want our kids to be safe. Now more than ever, the safety of our students and our staff is under more scrutiny than ever before, and understandably so. We have done lots and will continue to invest more in the safety of our campuses. We have improved protocols and procedures. We are in the process of upgrading facilities, and we will be adding additional school resource officers. However, as I have stated to our community, the challenge today is not that our schools are not safe. The challenge is we have students in crisis who believe that harming themselves or others is a viable option, and we have to change that mindset. How do we do that? By creating a culture and climate where every child matters. A culture and climate where students have a sense of purpose and belonging. A culture and climate where every child is respected and valued. Your number 1 responsibility as an educator in this system is to do just that. If we do, together we will create the safest possible environment for our students and staff. So what else would I want for my own child? I'd want them to be appropriately challenged. I want them to have opportunities to pursue their interests and to find their passion. I want them to find school engaging, relevant, exciting, and fun. Yes, school should be fun. I want them to be respected. I want them to be respectful. Respectful of themselves, respectful of one another, and respectful to you and all of the adults that work with them. I want them to have a choice. I want them to have a voice. I want them to take personal responsibility and accountability for their learning and their behavior. I want them to set goals. I want them to track their progress, and I want them to celebrate their achievements, and I want you to celebrate with them. The bottom line is, I want them to want to come to school. We will achieve this if we focus on building relationships first. We are a people business. We are a relationship business. If you watch the news every day, it is easy to become cynical, jaded, or doubtful about the world our students, our children will inherit from us. What I have found to be true is that in spite of all the negativity that is taking place, all the negativity that's being reported, there is also lots of good in the world. There are more good people than bad people. There is more love than hate. Acts of kindness do not get a lot of media play, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. That certainly doesn't mean that they're not important. The one thing we have complete control over is how we treat one another and how we treat our students. You probably have figured out by now, I expect you to be good to our kids. I also expect you to model to your students how to be good to one another. Do I have any Harry Potter fans in the audience? Yes. What did Professor Dumbledore say? It's our choices that show who we truly are, far more than our abilities. And he was right. Let's all choose to set a consistent daily example for all of our kids on what it's like to be a caring, empathetic, selfless citizen. What I want to do right now is I want to make this a little bit interactive. I want everybody in this room, I want you to think about the best teacher you ever had. Hopefully someone came to mind immediately. Just shout out some 1 or 2 word descriptors you would use to describe that very best teacher. Shout them out. Kind, encouraging, passionate, high energy, caring, patient, funny, sense of humor, love that. Okay, erase that teacher for a second. Now think about the worst teacher you ever had. Someone probably comes to mind. Without using any profanity. What are some 1 or 2 words you would use to describe that teacher? Boring. Disengaging. Somebody said worksheets? I like that. What else? Mean. Okay, you get the point. So my question to you is this: what type of teacher are you going to be? What type of person do you want to be? What will be your legacy? Because you're going to leave one. You will be remembered. Will it be positive? Will it be negative? Or will it be indifferent? Professor Dumbledore would tell you, and I would agree, the choice is yours. It's been said, and it is true, kids will not care how much you know until they know how much you care. Kids will not care how much you know until they know how much you care. It's also critically important that you take good care of yourself. If we're going to be at our professional best, we must take care of ourselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever that means to you. As new members of our Forsyth County Schools family, you play a crucial role in our work. We have 4 outstanding teachers with us today for you to meet. I would like to introduce to you at this time Dr. Cindy Salone, our Associate Superintendent for Human Resources and Legal Services. She has the longest title in the school system, for our teacher panel. Cindy?
It is my pleasure to moderate the panel today, so would you please join me in welcoming 4 of our finalists for the 2019 Forsyth County Teacher of the Year. I'd like to ask Donna Jackson, Jessica Nicholson, Kim Schreier, and Rhonda Slaughter to join me on stage. We'll be asking them some questions about being a teacher in Forsyth County. We'll also ask them some of your questions that you turned in to the Dane directors before the program began. You ready? All right. Would you please introduce yourselves and share a little bit about your background?
My name is Kim Schreier. I teach at South Forsyth Middle School. That's really it.
That's a little bit.
My name is Jessica Nicholson. I teach at Whitlow Elementary, and 3 years ago I was sitting in your seats and it was the best decision that I made. Year 17 teacher.
Hi, my name is Rhonda Slaughter, and I teach first grade at Matt Elementary, and this is my 5th year teaching in Forsyth County. So welcome. You guys are going to love what you do here.
I'm not very good at technology, so I'm going to use this one. Somebody turn that one on. I'm Donna Jackson. You can see my weakness right now. I have taught for 29 years. I actually retired last year, so you can see Forsyth County doesn't participate in age discrimination. I'm up here on the stage, and this is a wonderful place to be. Welcome. I taught 19 years in middle school and 10 years in high school.
Okay. Thank you. Now that you know a little bit about them, we'll get to our question. I'm going to start with several questions that each one of them is going to answer. The first one, what is the secret that helps you daily as a teacher?
The secret that helps me would be chocolate and collaboration. There's so much that teachers do every single day, that your school is filled with other teachers, and then you have teachers across the county, that there's no need to reinvent the wheel. So collaborate with your peers, and it also makes it a little bit more fun.
And my secret is hand in hand with the collaboration, but you need your people. You need to find who your people are that share your vision. And you need to have somebody that you can go to on those tough days that you can release, and you can have those tears openly with them, or you can celebrate those amazing things that happened in that day, or go to them and for goodness sake say, I didn't do well at this and I need help, or what did you do that worked for you? And never be that teacher that has all the answers. Always be that teacher that looks for more answers.
And for me, I would say I agree 100% with what they've said so far, but also being prepared. I like to try to not leave the school for the day without being prepared for the next day completely, just because you never know what's going to come your way. If you have kids, sure enough, one's going to wake up throwing up or with a fever or a dog. So if you have prepared yourself the day before, then if you're running late, you're ready to go. If you have a sub coming in, you've got it all laid out. So just trying to be as prepared as possible.
Well, mine kind of goes along with the first two. Surround yourselves with positive people. Unfortunately, you're going to find no matter where you work, whether it's the school system or in the business world, you're going to find that there's some negative Nancys and negative Neds. Be kind to those people, pray for those people, but don't let those be your people. Find some people that you can really relate with and that bring you up instead of bring you down.
All right, Donna, we'll start with you for the next question. What is the hardest lesson that you have learned as a teacher?
Well, the hardest lesson kind of goes along with what Jessica said, is I always thought I could do it. I didn't need to ask anyone. I had to learn to hide my pride and ask for help. I'm very technologically illiterate, and it took me a long time to be able to realize that didn't make me stupid. It just made me, that wasn't one of my gifts. God gave us all gifts, and we need to tap into the gifts of others, and they could tap into mine. And once I realized that it was okay to say, hey, I just can't do that, and find that someone who could, my life became a whole lot easier, and I actually think I became a much better teacher.
And for me, one of the hardest lessons that I learned that even on your worst day of teaching, you're still making an impact on those kids. I used to, if I didn't get to the lesson that I had planned for the day or something, I would just be so hard on myself and get down on myself. Then with my team that helped me embrace this thinking is that, we strive so hard for the academics, which is so important, but that social emotional piece is so important too. And if you've ended the day and you didn't get to that lesson, but you cared for those kids and you loved on those kids, then that was still a successful day in teaching.
Oh, I have had so many great lessons. But I take you back to my first day of teaching, and I cried a lot. And I called my little brother and I said, please come help me. And he showed up. But guys, there's another day. It's going to happen. You're going to have these visions that are going to be excellent. They're going to be fantastic visions. And then you try to put them out and it just doesn't come out the way that you want them to come out. And you just need to keep on going. Look forward, reach out to those that have been there longer than you, or that have done it better than you, or that are suffering through it with you. But the lesson that I've learned is just to keep on going, and that it gets better. And as you gain your self-confidence, your teaching becomes incredibly better. So just work on building your self-confidence and not trying to be somebody else in the building or just like your mentor, but who you want to be. Just kind of focus on you and don't worry about what everybody else is telling you.
One of the lessons I've learned is that you're going to have students act out in your classroom. And that doesn't mean necessarily that you have poor classroom management. It's that we have to get to know our students. Each of them enter your room with a ton of other things on their plate. And so to take the moments to get to understand them and see where they're coming from and figure out what else they're dealing with, it's going to help build that relationship, which is going to make your job a lot easier.
All right, the next question, and an important question. Why do you teach in Forsyth County? Kim, you want to start?
So we get fall break, a whole week off in September. Okay, but really, Forsyth County is great because they believe in their teachers.
This entire community supports you. They're going to give you plenty of resources. You're going to get so much help, but they trust you and give teachers individual flexibility to do your best. It's a great place to work.
Kim said it way better than I can. But oh my gosh, the relationships and the support, it's the support. It's not just the support of your administrators, it's the support of your teachers and of the whole school system, and it's outside of that, it's the parents. I have never, I'm 17 years deep, 3 years in Forsyth County, and I've never seen such incredible community support and parent support. It just blows me away each and every day. The feedback that we get from the families, the assistance that we get from the families, we can say, hey, we've got this great idea, can you help me push it forward? And your families are there for you if you build your relationships with them. So definitely put that forefront, but yeah, the support from this county is incredible.
And I was actually a parent in Forsyth County before I was a teacher. We moved here from Texas and I had young kids, so I was taking some time off of teaching. Once my kids reached school age and they were in the public school system, as a parent, I fell in love. We moved to Forsyth County, like Dr. Bearden said, many other people have. For the school system, I knew they were good schools here, but once my kids were actually in it and I could see how much they were loved, how much they were learning, I just knew that I had to be a part of it. And since joining the Forsyth County team, I'll just say it's been amazing. The support you receive from your school, from the county is just overwhelming. So you guys are going to love it here.
It's hard to be last after all of that. I agree with what everybody said. We moved here in 1981. I actually started teaching in 1978, so, but we moved here in 81, and I stayed home with my children for a while, too, and I saw how wonderful the school system was, and I decided to go back, and it wasn't my plan, but it was God's plan, and it was the best thing I ever did. It's a wonderful place to teach. It truly, when they're talking about family, it really is a family. Even though we're a large school system, we still feel small, if that makes sense. There's a real sense of community, and I think you're going to be blessed to be here. It's a wonderful place.
As you came in today, you were asked to write some questions for our Teachers of the Year. I've got a few. We'll ask a couple, and I'll call on 2 teachers to answer each one. So for Kim and Jessica, what is your school environment like?
I love my school. I really do. And when I go there every day, I know that I have my friends there, my family there, my people are there, and that's just the way that work should feel. It should not be, oh my gosh, I have to get up and I have to go to work. I love what I do, and I love the support that I get from our administrators. I am way outside of the box, and they just allow me to have that opportunity to try new things. We work together collaboratively in a huge way. My previous 5th grade team, I'm no longer 5th grade, but our team grew together. We got to know our families, we got to know our secrets. Again, we were there for each other with the tears and the laughter. The group texts are unbelievable. But when you walk into the building, it feels like a good place to be. The children are incredible. Their families, again, are just incredible. And it's my happy place. I love being there.
My school experience is very similar. At South Middle, all the teachers want to help each other. It's just unlike another school that I've ever been at. It's frequently we'll get an email to the staff saying, hey, who needs help making copies? Or I know that if I have a schedule that doesn't work out, I can find another teacher that'll help house a couple of my kids and help me out that day. They're always willing to help and support. And one of the best things that I love about my school is how much they value the individual child and making sure that the children are happy. That it's not just about our standardized test scores or, oh gosh, we have to start prepping these kids early. It's about making sure that they're happy and that they're having fun at school.
All right, Donna and Rhonda, what is your favorite part about teaching?
Well, the students. That's the best part. Never in my 29 years did I want to become an administrator. Sorry, administrators. That just wasn't my gift, and I knew that. I wanted to deal with students one-on-one. I just enjoy being around them, building relationships with them, seeing them in the grocery store now, teaching their children. I've taught some of their children now, and that's really interesting to me because I call them by the wrong name all the time, call them their parents' names. But it's just great. It's just the students are what makes teaching what it is. So build those relationships and just enjoy it.
And I couldn't agree with Donna more. The best part of teaching is being with those kids. And like Dr. Bearden said, school should be fun. So I like to try to have fun with the kids, put on some music, have a dance party with those kids, and just embrace them, empower their little minds. You know, I teach first grade, so when we learn about historical figures, you know, I'm like, you could be the next George Washington, you could be the next president, and just seeing their eyes light up, it's just the best feeling in the world.
All right, Kim, can we start with you? Would each one of you please give our new educators one final piece of advice?
Always picture yourself, and would you want to be a student in your own classroom? Make it fun, make it exciting. Make sure that you build those relationships with your students, because students will move mountains for you if they know that you care about them.
In addition to that, it's not just building relationships with your students, but it's building relationships with their families. The more that you put yourself out there and your experiences and share of you, the more that those students and their families become a part of your safety net. And I have just learned over the years, and it took a while to kind of go out on that limb, but you know, it's little things. You know the movie is coming out that they're all excited about, so why not take your family and invite their families as well to have a movie date on a Friday night or on a Saturday night? I wouldn't recommend inviting just the kids, but you know, and find ways to engage with those students. Ask them about their soccer practice or their dance class. Maybe attend a dance recital. Don't take away from your family, but instead allow it to add to your family. And I promise you, when you build those connections with those parents, your year is going to be an amazing year.
And a bit of advice I would give is just to know that failure is okay. That was also a hard lesson to learn, but you know, when personalized learning was first starting, and I was scared to death to try it, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to dive in and try this, and a lot of it failed at first, but failure is a learning experience, and it's good to model that in front of your students too. You know, Miss Slaughter tried this, and it didn't go so well, but we're going to try it again, and you can do that too, so just to know that failure is okay. And also, so important, but wear comfortable shoes. The heels are cute, but they hurt.
I guess my advice is just to smile. I've never bought into the theory of don't smile till Christmas, you know. No! If you're not happy in your classroom, why do the students want to be in your classroom? You know, you're there to make a safe and happy environment for them, and you need to show that. It's okay to be smiling and show that, and let them know that you enjoy what you do, and they'll enjoy coming in your classroom every day. It makes building those relationships so much easier.
Thank you, panelists. As you can see, teaching in Forsyth County has many advantages, from colleagues like these in the classroom next door to you, to the experience and wisdom that you've heard about today. Let's give them a round of applause. We have a Forsyth County Schools family t-shirt for you today. If you would, be sure to pick it up in the middle of the hallway. Our local businesses and organizations are spread throughout this hallway, as you saw when you came in, and they're eager to meet you. Please stop by. We're fixing to have a break, but we need you back in here by 9:30. At that time, Fonda Harrison, Associate Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, will introduce you to our Forsyth County Teacher of the Year. Enjoy your break.
I hope you all enjoyed your break, and we're going to welcome Kim Schreier back to the stage. She was a part of our panel earlier, but Kim, if you'll come up. She's hiding here. Kim Schreier teaches math at South Forsyth Middle School. She received her bachelor's and master's from the University of Georgia, go Dogs, and her specialist degree from the University of West Georgia. In 2007, Kim began teaching in Fulton County, saw the light and came to Forsyth County and South Forsyth Middle School in 2014. Please join me in welcoming Kim to the podium.
It is an honor to be in front of the future of Forsyth County Schools. Whether this is your first year teaching or your first year in our county, I welcome you. As I look out today, I see teachers ready to make a difference, teachers ready to make their content come alive, and teachers ready to get back to their classrooms and finish their bulletin boards. This is my 13th year in teaching, and I still get those butterflies before the first day of school. I stay up all night thinking, how am I going to get all of this done? And what if my principal walks in? And how can I get my bladder back on a teacher schedule? I like to start each year thinking about my why. Why did I choose teaching? And why did I stick with it? Each of you has a why. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here today. Spoiler alert, you didn't choose teaching because you look forward to standardized tests. And not too many people can say they enjoy spending hours grading essays. I challenge you to think about your why as you start your own school year. Write it down, share it with your colleagues, make it become part of your story and your classroom. In order to share my own why, I need to take a trip down memory lane. Just like Dr. Bearden had said, we all have those special teachers that have made a difference in our lives. I'd like for you to think about a teacher that impacted you. Miss Spreeder, my second grade teacher, was my original why for joining this teacher club. She made learning fun. That's me. I'm the one holding our class pet, Thumper the rabbit. Behind us, you can see how we have displayed all the Boxcar Children books we read. What you don't see is off in the corner, Miss Spreeder had made a huge boxcar out of cardboard boxes. 4 students at a time could fit during silent reading time and transform ourselves into our favorite book. I was in awe of Miss Spreeder. I wanted to be just like her. Throughout the years, I volunteered in after-school programs, I led a Girl Scout troop, and I enrolled in the Early Childhood Education program at UGA. That's when my why was challenged, and my thoughts about teaching started to alter as I encountered student teaching. I want you to imagine the worst lesson that you have ever planned. The worst. That describes my entire student teaching experience. My energy and optimistic attitude was met with resistance from my mentor teacher who had a different teaching philosophy. I remember thinking, what did I get myself into? And how can I get out of it? I debated my why. I debated if it was even possible to teach the way that I desired with all of the extras and hurdles that real teachers face every day. But I wanted to prove to myself that I could make learning fun, just as Miss Spreeder had done for me. I decided that I wanted to make my classroom be the place that students wanted to be. I decided that I wanted to be the impact. I accepted the challenge, just as you have. When my students were studying Canada and social studies, I transformed my math classroom into a Canadian ice hockey rink. You should have seen the looks on the students' faces when their teacher rolled in on rollerblades with her hockey stick and scored the first goal for their math review game. My classroom is loud, my classroom is messy, but I strive to make learning memorable. Across this county, you will see a many amount of amazing teachers. You will see language arts teachers transform their classrooms into restaurants so their students can have a book tasting to figure out what book to read. You will see social studies teachers take out a guitar and perform original songs based around their content. You can even attend a concert right before the AP US History exam, where when you walk into this concert, you will get a packet of the lyrics as it turns into one big sing-along review session. Teachers throughout the year from different schools are given professional development days to meet and collaborate together. And schools have instructional coaches and a constant stream of support to ensure teacher and student success. You didn't pick an easy career. You didn't sign up to stand in front of a room full of students, but you choose to make an impact. For 180 days, you will get to impact beyond the walls of your classroom. Over the years, I've added to my why. Joshua, pictured here, that was him in 5th grade. He's now a rising sophomore at Georgia Tech. He has always been bright, inquisitive, and eager for a challenge. Tino just finished graduating high school, even though he struggled to pass the 5th grade. Sophia craves individual encouragement to build her confidence, especially in a subject that she's not so sure about. And Haritha has shown me more about how much passion a 7th grader can have when she has the courage to run for the Georgia State Beta president. Each of these students makes me want to be a better teacher, and there are thousands more just like them. Building relationships is more than understanding others. It's making people feel understood. In Forsyth County, we have students who are eager to learn. In Forsyth County, we have teachers and administrators who want to see you be successful. Our local community supports you. Local businesses, our Chamber of Commerce, our school board, are all here to help you and cheer you on this school year. Bring enthusiasm, bring passion, and bring joy into your classroom. There's a quote that hangs in the front of my classroom. It hangs above the entire front wall. Be the reason someone smiles today. This is my why. This is why I teach. You have the chance to change someone's day, someone's year, and someone's life. I'm proud to send my own kids to Forsyth County schools, and I'm proud to teach here. On behalf of all the teachers of Forsyth County, I welcome you to Forsyth County and wish you the best of luck in your school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. I would now like to invite Brad Collins, the chairperson for Forsyth County Education Foundation, to the stage.
Thanks, Vonda. Well, good morning. The Forsyth Education Foundation was created in 2015 by the Board of Education, and our goal was to create and unify resources that were not ordinarily provided by the district's operating budget, that fostered achievement, innovation, and achievement, increasing those student achievements. Over the past 4 years, the foundation has awarded over $190,000 in grants to schools and teachers just like you. We will give out more grants this fall after a successful fundraiser. You can see on the screen the Duck Dive for Education. It's something new we started this year that's now going to be an ongoing signature event for us. We are continually working with our community to raise funds to give more grants out to students and teachers. As you already heard today, the learner profile is the backbone of all of Forsyth County schools. Every grant the foundation gives also aligns with the learner profile. We would now like for you to hear more about the learner profile from our students who live it out every day. I'd like to ask for our 5 students and my fellow Education Governing Board members to come on stage at this time, and you will hear about the learner profile from each student. I'll ask each student to introduce themselves.
My name is Miyang Tamanji. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Miyang Tamanji, and I'm a proud Forsyth Central alumni. I graduated this year, and I will be furthering my education at the Georgia Institute of Technology, where I'll be majoring in neuroscience. Now, while I cannot remember most from my elementary years except for the infamous Silly Bands band, I knew it helped set a foundation for the years to come. I believe the best way to effectively describe the traits of pursue continuous learning is through the teachers of Forsyth County. I truly believe we have some of the best teachers ever, where students are given a platform to express themselves both academically and creatively. I still remember projects that have had a lasting impact on me since middle school. I obtained a new appreciation and adoration for history and the liberal arts while continuously thriving in the STEM subjects. I was always taught it was one or the other, but from elementary to high school, I was able to be passionate about both and even intertwine the two in multiple projects and studies. It is also evident in the multiple sports, clubs, and extracurriculars I and many other students actively participated in. When I arrived at FCHS into the STEM program, my love for science grew, where I had the opportunity to execute lab experiments and worked with advanced technology, both inside and outside of the classroom. From eutrophication studies in our own lake, Lake Lanier, to running DNA samples through gel electrophoresis, I grew as a scientist, a student, and most importantly, a person. Our teachers encouraged in communication, and when a student was determined to get help, there was not anything they would not do for them, even if it meant coming early in the mornings or staying late after school. Even when a student was too scared, they never gave up on them and continued to help build their confidence and assist them in their studies. My teachers taught me that there's nothing to be ashamed of in asking for help, and that's one thing I learned is that these teachers in Forsyth County, they really care about you, and that's something you won't get once you get into college and into the professional world. Honestly, I did not truly appreciate our teachers until I attended GHP last summer. I heard a multitude of people complain about their teachers and how they only care about the AP exam. Regardless of whether it was an AP class or not, I never felt like our teachers were just teaching us to follow the criteria and check off standards, but they were actually teaching for us to learn, which is one thing the U.S. education system is lacking as a whole, but not in this county. And I believe it is reflected in our schools and how much Forsyth County is growing. I mean, I know you guys all see the endless road construction that's happening. This may sound crazy, but one of the things I loved about STEM and my teachers is that it taught me how to fail and how it is perfectly fine. That is actually needed in order to succeed. Above all, I learned the attitude and perseverance I needed to obtain in order to learn from my mistakes. And I'm taking these skills to Georgia Tech to not only have a bright future as a student, but to also be mentally healthy and happy. I cannot let my failures define who I am. I can only use them to help guide me on the trail to success, because success is not a straight line. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, Winston Churchill. And that is exactly what my school, my teachers, my community, and this county taught me. Thank you, and go Dogs.
Okay, next up we have Exhibit Strong Personal Qualities with Carter Martin and Lori Paul.
Hi, I'm Carter. Forsyth County's strong personal qualities are attributes that are important to me and are qualities I strive for each day. Because at one time in my life, these were things that the doctors and professionals said I would never be able to do. You see, I'm not just a typical 15-year-old kid. I also have autism, epilepsy, and a chromosomal deletion that is pretty rare. so it doesn't have a name, just a number. 16P11.2. It might be hard to believe, but I didn't speak until I was 4.5. The doctor said I would likely never talk, and yet here I am, standing in front of you, telling you what strength of character means to me. The doctors and professionals also said I would likely never read, never do math, and would likely never make friends. But if you ask anyone who knows me what they think of me first, I bet they say my smile and that I talk a lot. I had to persevere through a lot of really hard things in my life. But I also only been able to do that because of the people who love me and support me. The things that made the most difference between me becoming what those doctors said I would become all those years ago, what I would have actually become, what just people believing in me. It was my mom, my Tina, my stepmom, my family, and some really amazing teachers like Miss Bell, Lisa Bennett, Carolyn Tollin, and Christy Quinn. What they did every day to show me what they believe in me helped me believe in myself. Miss Bell nominated me for positive athlete of the state of Georgia. She pushed me every day at swimming to be my best. I won Georgia Positive Athlete Award for the entire state of Georgia. Special Olympics because she believed in me. When you give the kids like me the gift of believing, you're giving them a ladder to personal qualities of strength, perseverance, and self-advocacy. You're empowering them to go further, to reach higher. This is so much power. There is so much power in simply knowing this, someone who believes in you. It's life-changing. I'm living proof of that.
Next, we have we'll talk about utilize creative and critical thinking with Abigail Whitney and Donna Way.
Hi, I'm Abigail Whitney from Piney Grove Middle School, and I'm a rising 7th grader. So today I'm going to be sharing about a characteristic of the learner's profile, more specifically utilize creative and critical thinking. To me, this means being able to efficiently solve problems in a realistic environment. My school, Piney Grove, has done a phenomenal job creating opportunity for all students in this area. One example of this is the oratorical contest. This educates kids about the skills and importance of public speaking. Most likely, we'll have to use these later in life as an adult, so I think it's really good that we're learning these skills now. Another great example is transitioning from elementary school to middle school. With that comes more work, juggling 7 classes a day and a whole lot of responsibility. In middle school, you gain so much more freedom, independence, and maturity, and all of these are traits that we need later in life. And having a schedule teaches students time management, and also with more homework, you have to budget your time really wisely. It might take some practice, but doing all these things is definitely worth it in the long run. A few more examples are clubs, projects, and presentations. These all provide chances to use innovation, independence, and critical and creative thinking. Finally, one more example of how Piney Grove exemplifies this trait is the JA BizTown simulation. You might have heard of it before, but if you haven't, every student gets a job in the town. We learned about salaries, checks, budgeting, and a lot of other business skills. My job was the mayor of the town, and I got a glimpse of what it's like to be an adult. I went to multiple meetings with my teachers throughout the day, completed paperwork, and filled out the town census. One thing that I really liked about this experience is how the chaperones offered help if you needed it, but for the most part, they tried to back off and let you handle the situations on your own. It was a really fun and educational experience that I enjoyed. Thank you all so much for taking the time to listen. Forsyth is definitely one of the best public school districts in the state, and you're going to absolutely love working here. Thank you.
Okay, next up we'll have Engage and Contribute with Juliana Jonassy.
Bonjour, buongiorno, and good morning, new teachers. I am Juliana Jonassy, and I am on my way to becoming a 6th grader at Riverwatch Middle School. Today, I am going to share with you how Forsyth County students engage and contribute with our peers, community, and the world. This means that we don't just think about ourselves in any given situation, and we make friends with people who may look, speak, or learn differently from ourselves. As a student at Sharon Elementary School, I learned that we are connected and that we can accomplish anything as a part of a community. One way I experience being connected is through meeting new people and helping others. This summer, I had the opportunity to travel to Europe, and I met people of different cultures who speak differently and whose lives look very different from my own. At first, I was a little nervous when my mom told me we would spend 2 weeks walking through Ireland, England, France, and Italy. Mostly because I didn't know what shoes to wear. But I quickly became excited for the new experiences I was going to have on this trip. I had already learned that new experiences allow us to engage with the world, meet new friends, and try new things, like escargot, which was actually pretty good. Engaging with others is pretty unavoidable. I mean, you have other people in your class, maybe other people in your house, and teammates around you all the time. But contributing to them, that's a whole other level. Some ways you can contribute are being kind, opening your heart to make a new friend, and respecting other people's ideas and opinions. Even my mom's opinion about what's trendy, or what type of manicure I can get. Contributing is not just thinking about yourself, but realizing that others have feelings too, and that you need to take care of those around you. One of my favorite ways to contribute is helping other students as a special friend. This opportunity allowed me to make friends with students who learn differently than I do, and it made me feel like I was helping with our community. New teachers. Today you join the best community as a member of the Forsyth County school system. And I am here to tell you that this community will support you in making your dreams and the dreams of your students into realities. Have a great year engaging and contributing to your school, and I will try my best to do the same.
Okay, next we have Interact Effectively with Holden Lapp.
Hello, new teachers. My name is Holden Lack, and I am a rising 5th grade student at Daves Creek Elementary. And today I will be telling you about the importance of interacting effectively and what it means to me. Interacting effectively means to be able to work well with others. Being a student in Forsyth County has given me lots of opportunities to learn how to interact effectively. Last year, I had the most amazing 4th grade teacher ever. Her name is Miss Creighton. She always talked about how important it is to communicate respectfully through reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Instead of giving us a bunch of boring worksheets, we did projects and presentations in Google, STEM activities, and we had to work with partners. Most of the time, partners we didn't choose ourselves. She said this would prepare us for the real world, where we would work with all kinds of different people. Speaking of working with others, I got to do that a lot in math competitions. My dad is the math specialist for the Forsyth County, and he has brought a ton of math competitions to the district for kids like me who really like math and sometimes get bored with math in school. In these competitions, there was a team round where we get to work in groups of 4. and sometimes we get different answers and get into arguments over who is correct. There's a mean way to do this, like yelling and talking over someone, and there's a friendly way to do this, like compromising and listening and respectfully disagreeing. And that brings me to my last example, positive relationships. Having positive relationships with your peers and your teachers is important because interacting effectively depends on trust. And one trait I'm really good at is trustworthiness. My friends can depend on me because I am honest and trying to do the right thing. Last year I won Voyager of the Month for trustworthiness. Voyager of the Month is a recognition program that the counselor, Ms. Johnson, brought to Dave's Creek. Without teachers like Ms. Johnson, Ms. Creighton, and my dad, interacting effectively would be a lot harder. Thank you for listening to my speech and have a great year in Forsyth County.
At this time, I'd like to have all of our students and their sign helpers come back on stage. I'd like to thank all of you for sharing with us about learning in Forsyth County Schools. I will now turn it back over to Dr. Bearden to close out the program.
What a great group of students. Thank you guys very much for your comments. How about another round of applause for our students? I was walking around the room earlier, the auditorium, and just trying to talk to as many people as possible. And someone stopped me, someone who's not new to education, has worked in other school systems, and said to me, you know, it's interesting, I haven't heard anybody talk about test scores yet. That's intentional. In Forsyth County, our kids do test very well. That's not our focus. One of my favorite quotes is, life is not a multiple choice test. What we're focused on in our school system, and I think you saw it this morning with our kids, is we're focused on doing what's best for kids every single day, all 180 days. And what I believe, and I think what's proven to be true, is this: if we do that, our kids will test just fine. We don't have to worry about that. Just do what's best for kids every single day. I'd also like to take a moment. I know we have family members here of the students who spoke this morning. I'd like to ask our family members to please stand and be recognized so we can applaud you. Your children are why we are all here, and it's our charge to make sure we nurture them, we support them, we love them, and we absolutely, as the young man said earlier, that we believe in them. I'd like to thank everyone that was involved in today's program. There's far too many to mention, but I do want to mention the ringleader. Hannah Samples, who works in our public information office, has been busy working on today to make sure this is a meaningful event for you for many, many months now. Hannah, would you please stand and be recognized? Hannah, will you come out here where they can see you and not stand behind me? There. In Forsyth County Schools, we make it happen every day. And we're thrilled to have you and look forward to seeing the greatness that comes from this amazing group of educators that are in this room. Our students, if you didn't know this already, will arrive on August 1st. On the night of July 31st, and Kim said this earlier in her remarks, and the same is true with me, I will have a restless, probably sleepless night. I always do the night before the first day of school. And no offense, but I kind of hope you have one too. And the reason, because like me, I hope you're a little bit nervous, but more than that, and also like me, I hope you're a lot excited. A little nervousness and a little excitement simply means that we care. I hope you have a great first day, an awesome first year, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for choosing this profession. It's the most important profession in our society today. Thank you for choosing our school system, and once again, welcome to the Forsyth County Schools family. Have a great day. Thank you.